Hey everyone, it's your boy, it's Radiated Earth, and we're playing Oxygen Not Included today. I absolutely love this game and stream it on Twitch on no sweat mode, but because this is YouTube, I'm going survival. Where we starting? That is the real question. Let's start with Terra, since we're going to be kind of talking on how to really establish your colony in Oxygen Not Included. Alright, so when you first start up your asteroid, you're going to get a selection of your initial 3 duplicants, aka dupes. And you can even start setting them up for what you want. So I always start with the digger, and I go one by one as I'm choosing. First thing I always look at is their negative traits. Bottomless stomach is not going to be what we're looking for. Okay, so I found a good digging dupe. So he's got +1 excavation, farming, operating. He can't research, but he's got a little bit of germ resistance. This will be really good, as Terra has a lot of swamp biomes, so slime lung might be something we don't have to worry about with our digger here. We're gonna name him Digging Dupe. Our next one is going to be our researcher, which this actually is really good. He's got researching, operating, doctoring, and increased machinery, which will be really good for researching and running on the hamster wheel if we need him to. I'm going to be Thinking Dupe. And our final one, this actually isn't bad at all. We might be able to switch our Digging Dupe with our Farming Dupe. I think we could do better though. What do we need though? Let's go with a rancher. I like ranching. Okay, so we found a good rancher. He's got some ranching and digging. This will help in the early game. And they have a decreased air consumption. They just can't cook. And that's totally fine. Maybe we should switch this. Our dirty dupe. Dirty dupe here with switch our digger. What else would we need? Digging, ranching, researching, operating. What if we get just a pure operator? Actually, I totally like that. That's fine. The Dupe Show. Embark, here we go. Alert! I've awoken at the target location, but colonization efforts have already hit a hitch. I was supposed to land on the planet's surface, but became trapped many miles underground instead. Although the conditions are not ideal, it's imperative that I establish a colony here and begin mounting efforts to escape. So the first thing we're going to want to do, let's check out our starting biome here. We've got some warm, a caustic biome to the upper right. Looks like a swamp biome with the slime up to the left. Can't see too much else. Some warm spots down here. Alright, so now we know kind of our size of the base here. The biggest things we need to start getting set up is our living areas. This is going to include a bathroom and include a barracks. So let's get some materials first. I'm going to cancel that dig right there. So we need water. I'm going to put it right here. This is going to allow us to have a little lip right here in case we have a dupe accident. I'm going to set up a ladder right here to help us get our carbon dioxide pit started. We also need to set up our washroom first off. We're just going to set it right here next to our starting area, next to our printing pot. We also need them a place for them to sleep. We're gonna set them up one. Right. While our dupes are setting up our living quarters, we need to set up our priorities. These section tells our dupes what to do. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to lower everything. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to set everybody to a very high attack, a high life support, and a neutral toggle so that they can turn on and off items, open doors, do all sorts of things thanks to this toggle here. We don't want anybody but our researcher actually research, because the research station tends to take a higher priority than a lot of things. And if we don't disallow, all our dupes will stand at that research station. We also need to set our individual dupes on their jobs. Thinking Dupe already got an up on researching, but they're also an operator, so we're going to give it a high priority, but not a very high priority. Our Digging Dupe, he's good at digging, he's good at farming, good at operating. Our Dirty Dupe is a digger and a rancher. We're doubling up on we're making a very high priority for the ranching because it's not going to come until a little later in the game. Another thing we are going to establish is our schedule. I always like to start off with 2 schedules, one night shift and one day shift. The schedule has morning and nights set individually because there are bonuses like a night owl or a early bird, but to prevent us having to micromanage all this, we're going to start with downtime. We're going to give them 3. This will give them time to get back to the base once we're outside of it, and then they're going to get 2 slots of bedtime, and we're going to do the same thing on the bottom, just staggered like this. And the rest of our schedules are going to fall in between this line. And then we're going to switch our Dirty Dupe, our Thinking Dupe, and our Digging. We're going to set our bathrooms to priority 9 to make sure they always get cleaned. And to make sure that happens as well, we're going to have to put tidying at a standard priority. All right, our first setup is ready. We got bathrooms ready, or else they'll pee all over the floor, and that's what we don't want. And we have a place for them to sleep away from any light sources, except for this little shine. So unfortunately, they don't have anything to do right now, so we need to get exploring. We need to explore. Right? We're also going to set harvest on all our food around here. And the next thing we also need to set up is our research. We're going to have one here, and we're going to have one here. We also need to get our airflow going. And I'm going to set up my ladders so that they're 4 high already. And these 4 spaces are going to be the perfect room size, as our rooms are 64, 96, and 120. All divisible by 4. That's why we're making everything 4 high. What I also like to do is I like setting up what I call cellar. And what this cellar is going to allow me to do is actually store all my food into a carbon dioxide pit that is going to fall right. We have a fairly smallish biome, it looks like, to start off with, but that's okay. The starting base isn't going to be very big anyways. I do need to set up some power here. We're going to do this kind of weird. Just for now. I want to keep this lip so that polluted water doesn't get it. We do have lots of oxalite going off right now, so we shouldn't have to worry about oxygen production until probably about cycle 4 or 5. If we don't kill this shine bug, what's going to happen is he's going to fly up here. He's going to wake up our dupes if he happens to get up here. We don't want that. Just waiting on the battery here to get put together so we can begin our research. Alright, our research station is complete. And this is our research tree. The first thing that I always like to do is get my food started. This is going to give us our ration box, our mess table, and farm tile. Set up some more spaces here. And we can actually keep going up. All the way up there. Perfect. Set up our bedrooms shortly. We're going to put them right here, right above our printing pod. It's very easy to lay out. I'm going to have my door here. So I'm going to have my door here. And then we're going to do space, space, space. We already got our food, our ration box set. I'm going to just set 3 down here. Let's see where we are, where we landed. So we can scroll over. Let me hit the edge to the right there, or left. Ooh, seems about the same size. It seems we're fairly centered in the middle. Got a little bit of room. We still got some up and up to get to. We have quite a distance to go down to hit our magma core. One big thing that is important in this game is airflow to make sure that your entire base is oxygenated. And we're doing that using these pneumatic doors. Pneumatic doors allow gas and liquids to flow through. And they have a 0 decor. But if we're using this double stack, gives us 4 spaces and is going to allow nice airflow through any section of the base that we're trying to build up. We're setting up these doors as well to create a room for our dupes. This is going to turn into a barracks. Boom, there we go. And the reason we want to use rooms, this is a really early way of increasing your dupe morale so they don't get stressed as quickly. Then we have an entire room overlay that's going to tell us our latrines give us +1, washrooms +2, barracks +1, bedroom +2. And these, there's typically 2 versions. One has a higher morale and just requires a little more things, like the latrine to the washroom. Latrine, we can use our outhouse and our wash basin, but the washroom requires a flush toilet and a plumbed wash station. So we're going to have to do some research in our plumbing section. In our research tree, we're going to have to research this. This is our lavatory and our plumbed in sink. Every 3 cycles, we get to pick a new dupe. We get anything good. We got a Dr. Tidier who gets more morale from decor but can't cook. That's okay. Tidying decorator who gets more food bonus but falls asleep periodically. Not a fan. They're going to fall asleep about once a cycle, which is going to really, over time, hurt their productivity. Over here we have an anemic trypophobian. Can't dig and is slow as heck. Absolutely not. But they do have that night owl, which, as I was talking about with our schedule here, these little moon shapes are the night shift, and he's going to get bonuses here. I have my schedule set up so I don't have to micromanage our dupes with those skills. So because of that, we're going to take the Mirth Leaf Seed. And our food is done researching. So our next research is actually going to be the supercomputer here, and the skill scrubber, and the water cooler. So we're going to click that, and this is going to give us our ability to research these fancier items with 2 bars in their research column. And eventually, late game, we'll even have a 3rd thing we'll have to build up to research for. So for our seller, we're going to choose everything edible. We're going to set the priority to 6, so they use these food boxes down here instead of this one here. We're actually going to delete this one. This is going to give us more space right here, and we can actually put a tile to put our supercomputer right there. I think that's exactly what we're going to do. Although I set my seller right here, we want our dupes to be close to the food source. So that's going to put our defac right here. We're going to start off just like we've been doing, double doors, right? And then we can actually just dig this out. Come all the way over here. Perfect 120. That is the exact size we need for our Great Hall. Eventually, we're going to dig all this up too. Oh, there's a patch of slime right here. What is our slime looking like? Some slime long. There's a big old patch right here. So now it's cycle 4. You can see our oxygen is still good. We're still over 500 grams. So we don't need to build any oxygen production yet. Our dupes are sleeping outside their barracks. Let's pop this. So this is going to be our dining facility down here, our Great Hall. So we might as well put our bathrooms right here. And then we can actually exit through this area as well. And they'll have to wash past whatever washrooms set up here. We're setting up a floor so that our wash basin will continue to work and they can actually get to the bathrooms. But we're going to have to make this a high priority so that they can get to the bathrooms too. Our duplicants can only move over one space, empty space. So from here, they can move to here. But they can't move from here to say here. This is too wide for them to jump over. And the benefit from going from a mess hall to a Great Hall, you go from a +3 morale bonus to a +6. Not only that, but because the Great Hall requires decor items, it's going to give them even more morale. Now what we can do, and this is a little tricky, we're going to put this over there. We're going to get this closed off so that this little guy does not escape into our main base with this guy who somehow has not woken up our dupe. I'm setting my research station to priority 6 to make sure that our dupes are the dupes who are allowed to research. That's all they're really is researching. No. So as you can see, this shine bug, even that's the downfall of the pneumatic doors. Unfortunately, sorry little shine bug, got to go. Gone fucked up. And we can actually turn this into a nature reserve soonish. To allow our dupes quicker access to everything, we're going to open the bottom door. We're going to lock the top door. This is going to force them to come in through the bottom and not hop down and wait for this door. We're also going to disable this water cooler to make sure that we don't waste water on it, as dupes don't need to drink water, and all it's going to do is waste it, and their time as well. Ooh, our dupes got skills! So Thinking Dupe's going to be the first one, and they need to get advanced research so that we can use this handy dandy supercomputer we just researched. We're going to build our electric wire underneath within the tiles now, so we don't have to worry about the decor penalty that our power line gives. -5 already. Which it brings it down to like -2 thanks to it being made out of copper and giving a increased 10% decor bonus. So now we have our supercomputer. Means we can do advanced stuff. I typically go with airflow tiles first to allow all our oxygen to run through. And we're just going to go straight to the deodorizer, as this is going to help us with our bathrooms and stuff until we have our real bathrooms set up. So it's the start of cycle 6, and our oxygen is starting to get a little low. So we are going to put up a diffuser. We're going to put it up here. I want it at a high point so that the oxygen has more area to go to. And once again, we're going to put in our power wire. And we're just going to run it straight through the door and the tiles. This little area right here, I don't think has good decor as is. Oh, we got a +40 thanks to our printing pod and the lighting. And even sitting here, they're still at a +26. But you can see from this decor tab, we have a total decor of 26. And this tab is a mod. It helps simplify the tile so that we can see the total average decor our dupes are getting when they're standing in this area. As you can see with this tile, we're getting a +45 from the printing pod being there and the lighting it's giving. But we're losing 10 for the debris being on the ground, this little piece of coal right here, and the wire being exposed as well is giving us a -9. We're still okay on oxygen except for down in our dining facility, which once we get this established, we'll be okay. We're going to set it to a priority 6 to make sure our dupes get it done pronto. And it looks like we have more skills. Ooh, digging dupe's got some skills. Of course he's going to get the improved digging. And our dirty dupe got some skills. And they're going to be our digger as well. So we're going to have to get food set up here shortly. And we're going to do that right down. We're gonna have to put some tile right here where the sand is gonna fall. If sand is there, if you dig what is underneath it, it's just gonna fall. So if we allow this sand to fall through, we're gonna lose. Oh, we don't have our room yet because we have exposed tile right here. But we're gonna be proactive. I'm going to slap some tiles right here. We have another dupe possibly. Alright, so we got food. Muckle Root is always a good go-to. Ashkan here is a supplier researcher with Iron Gut and Biohazardous. This Iron Gut does not make up for the Biohazard, and these abilities aren't really what I'm looking for. Hassan here. She's only a digger, gets extra food. Slow bathroom, can't research, and falls asleep periodically. That is not great. Nisbet here is a rancher operator, which is pretty good with machinery, but they can't build. This is an absolute 100% zero. Not taking Nisbet. We need everybody able to dig and to build. If not, you're kind of a useless dupe. But we can always take more food, especially since we don't have our mealwood farms up and running yet. Alright, our air is barely breathable now, so we're gonna up this priority just to make sure this gets done ASAP. We may have messed up on this door, so let's switch this around. And our dupe's got our airflow tiles ready, so we're gonna put 4 here to allow all this carbon dioxide to fall into our mini pit right here. I also like to put airflow tiles at doors. This just helps with the overall airflow of the base. We're gonna put our ladder down one more level, and this should we can break into this. We have a lot of oxygen coming out from this little area over here. Oh, we got shine bugs. Crack-a-lackin'. Okay, so now that they're deconstructing this, we gotta be quick. Luckily, we're gonna pause this, set these, and hopefully they build these before too many of our shine bugs over here get out. If we could keep our shine bugs in here, we can turn this into a nice little eggshell farm so that we can slowly increase our line count for later in the game. Look how cute they are with their little snoring. So cute. I do want to get my food up and running, so we're going to get these farm tiles set up. Although I have plenty of muckle root to survive, probably until cycle 15, maybe 20, I'd rather have our food up and running. So now our latrine is full and it requires emptying. When they do this, this is going to put polluted dirt right here. So our solution for this is, once it's researched, we're researching right now, is going to be this deodorizer right here. Things you want to watch out for in the early game are your oxygen levels, your food levels, and your exploration. Right now, we're working on getting our food established. This oxygen diffuser will last us very, very close to the mid game. Will produce a much larger oxygen production. For first starting out, the big things: set up some rooms, get your barracks set up. Once we have our washroom set up, all we would have to do is honestly put a door right here. Right here and here, and then set them back. Oh, that's not what we want to do. So we have a couple farm tiles set up. We're going to wait until they're all built to plant them all so they can all get done at the same time. Which I don't know if we have. Farmer, we do. Digging Dupe's a farmer. So we got our deodorizers done. We're going to pop one right here. Pop one right here. And why not? We'll pop one right there as well. We have our food getting established. We have oxygen getting established. The next thing I like to do is start to get my bathroom stuff researched. And we're going to grab our sink, our lavatory, and then we're going to come down to the water sieve and the liquid reservoir. This is going to allow us to create a closed loop for our bathrooms, so we don't waste any of our water here or here. I should have a third pocket. It's probably down here somewhere of water. But what we are going to do is we're going to crack over to the left here, and we're just going to dig out this whole swamp biome long before we reach the mid game. We're probably going to crack into this about the mid phase of our early game, when our exploration becomes our primary. Right now we're establishing rooms. Normally 5 mealwood per dupe. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 21. So this is going to give us enough mealwood to run 5 duplicants just off of mealwood. Looks like we got more research done. So now that we have our bathroom set up, let's move down to our sieve. What our sieve is going to do is it's going to bring in polluted water. It's going to use sand to filter out all the toxins and give us clean water. Although it'll still be germy, the bathrooms and showers, the sinks and showers they remove all germs when they're used, even if the liquid they're using is super germy. We're going to get some polluted oxygen, this green tiles here, because of this polluted dirt that's off-gassing. You can see it popping up. It's even saying emitting polluted oxygen. Micrograms per second, but it does eventually add up. And if you have too much polluted oxygen in your base, you'll eventually summon what is called a morb. And these little guys are not good. The morb is a versatile scavenger, capable of breaking down and consuming dead matter from most plant and animal species. It poses a severe disease risk to humans due to the thick slime it excretes to surround its inner cartilage structures. A single teaspoon of morb slime can contain up to a quadrillion bacteria that work to deter would-be predators and liquefy its food. Petting a morb is not recommended. So what these little guys do is they give off slime lung. And slime lung is bad, okay? Slime lung isn't the killer it used to be. You can find slime lung. Slime. Ooh. Slime lung. What slime lung is going to do to us is it's going to slow down our dupes. No big deal, but very inconvenient. Now we have all our farming tiles up. So we're going to start planting our mealwood, and I wanted it all done at once, but we only have so many seeds. So we're just going to set up our farm with the seeds we have right now. And the mealwood seeds tend to fall quite frequently, so this should actually get filled up fairly quickly. With 10 seeds, we can feed 2 of our dupes. Look at that, we got our deoxidizers going, and they have this nice little triangle. These 2 are the big ones that we need right now, as our latrine, our outhouses fill up fairly quickly, as opposed to our water sinks, which polluted water bottles are actually really good for making oxygen in general if you have deodorizers next to them. We're going to be using that strategy later in game when we have our full bathrooms hooked up and ready to go. Right now I'm kind of thinking of where to put everything, because we're going to have to set up a bathroom and a cleaning area, a waste management area, I like to call it. With this airflow now, you can see that carbon dioxide gets stuck up here, but it's falling down here. It's going to hit here, we're going to be okay. We're also going to put deodorizers on either side of our cellar. As when meal lice goes bad, it's going to produce a rot pile that gives off polluted oxygen. These deodorizers are going to be your best friends in the early game. Oh, we got a sage hatch coming around. Oxygen is real good. 1700, that is a heck of an amount. Heck of a good amount. Once we have this set up, we can just like that. And by digging this out, this is going to allow this carbon dioxide that's getting trapped here at the bottom to sink down here. Oh, look at all that oxygen. Ooh, baby. That should help. Not that our oxygen is bad right now. We're not at a... Because oxygen flows up, this area is highly oxygenated. And this... I mean, this isn't a lot of carbon dioxide, but we're also going to be putting in coal generators, and we'll be getting more dupes that are going to produce carbon dioxide. And now you can see this oxalite is starting to give off, and it's going to push all this carbon dioxide out through this way. And once this gives off enough oxygen, it'll disappear on its own, and then all of this oxygen, this beautiful, almost 3,000 grams per tile, can come up into our base, and all of this carbon dioxide will fall down here in theory. Now I just cracked into here. This should help all this carbon dioxide slowly start to fall down. Because carbon dioxide is the heaviest gas in this game, it's going to flow down and to the left, so it should fill up this section here, maybe not these squares right here, before it starts pushing over. There was no third water pit. Yeah, there's no third water pit. Whack! All right, and now we have, about to have our, boom. You can see our room size is 120 tiles, which is great. We just need a piece of decor in here to turn it into the Great Hall, which after we research our water reservoir, that'll be our next research. All right, it looks like we have a majority of our super early game and well established. We have food starting to grow. We have a quick little oxygen maker up here while we're still producing oxygen thanks to all this oxalite here. We have this massive pit of crack into still. We have our little cellar made for all our food, which will eventually sweep this up. We have makeshift bathrooms going. Thanks, Thinkin' Dupe. And we got our barracks going. So the big things you need in your early game. Number 1, set up some rooms. Like this. Barracks. Easy morale. Number 2, get food going. As our farm tiles take more than a cycle to grow our food, we want these going as soon as possible so we don't have to worry about food. And finally, we want oxygen set up. Although you can survive maybe the first up to 6 cycles without any oxygen production, if you try to go even longer without it, your oxygen is going to be very thin. Carbon dioxide will push up from the bottom of the base into your dupe bedrooms, and they will wake up randomly because they can't breathe. This is why we set our bathrooms up high. I'm sorry, this is why we set our bedrooms up high. So that even if we run out of algae or some kind of oxygen production, we have a good buffer for all this. We have a good buffer for the gas to reach up to our actual bedrooms. So we have new dupes. We got a decorator cooker with increased science and can attack. That's actually really good. We have a building farmer and doctor who has increased medicine. If medicine was a big deal for me, I would actually look at Mima here. But I actually like Rowan. And he's gonna be our fancy dupe. Welcome to the crew, fancy dupe. When we get a new dupe, we've gone through 3 possible chances. When we get a new dupe, first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna put him on a new schedule. Fancy dupe, right there. Our fancy dupe, we're gonna start with the decorating. Because we want to get to the +2 so that when we make our statue, that's already a +20 bonus and our Great Hall will be confirmed. Then we're going to adjust his priorities. Decorating being the top, cooking also being the top. But we don't have a kitchen established yet. We're going to call it here at cycle 13. In the Dupe Show. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe down below. Join me on Twitch, where I have a totally another base going, and you can interact with me as I chill and try to make sure our dupes don't die. Have a wonderful day, everybody, and don't forget to keep shining.